Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? This is Gentrics, food for thought, thoughts if it were you. But now, I did say I was going to cover sleep, and I will definitely cover the importance of sleep. As we are now in the last week of classes, and or basically a week of finals, starting for most people on Wednesday that just passed, and others the beginning of the week on Monday, ending next week on the 16th and 18th. Now, as for those that are in high school, well, your ending date may be closer to the end of May. It's unfortunate, but this is true. But we're going to take a sidestep here at 3 o'clock in the morning. We're going to go ahead and talk about something I never thought I was ever going to bring up. And then I will go back and I will cover what I said I was going to cover. Don't worry, everything that I bring up in every single podcast, I will cover. Eventually, if not immediately. And like I said before, you can hit me up on my Twitter. You can hit me up on my Facebook. You can hit me up here on Anchor. And let me know if you want a specific topic done within a certain time frame, if you want to hear about it immediately, more so than waiting and testing out your patience to see if I'm going to do it immediately. So, I'm going to go ahead and cover a topic on pregnancy and babies. Yep, you heard me correct. I'm going to cover a parenting skill today. Something new, something I've never done before. I did bring it up that I would cover them eventually in one of my previous podcasts. But I wasn't sure exactly when to bring them up until I ran into an old friend of mine. And I realized that she was pregnant. It was a bit of a shock, I'll gladly say that. But now, she's going to need some guiding hands to help her. Granted, I'm not actually going to touch her when I say that. But I'll do my best to give as much information as I can that I have at my disposal. We'll begin in a few seconds. Alright, guys. Let's begin. And we'll start at the very beginning. Parenting starts during pregnancy, when your body's effectively taken over from within. Most people already know this, but most people also know about morning sickness, tiredness, amnesia, and mood changes can also be a feature of pregnancy as well, which is a very common thing for a lot of people. Now, there are multiple different factors to this in which people have to consider. First thing is pregnancy and wellness. Okay? Yes, you are only pregnant, but sometimes it is far worse than being ill, and you need to look after yourself to look after your developing baby as well. And no worries, I will cover pregnancy and wellness at some point. But I just want to make sure I cover this topic and that this is a major topic that needs to be discussed as well. Next, you need to prepare for parenthood. Okay? As well as being pregnant and looking after your body, you will also want to make preparations for your baby's arrival. Now, this is common sense, but I feel I should probably still cover it anyway for those who have no idea what to do and are afraid. And there are some people out there like that. So, consider the impact. Okay? Consider the impact of that baby's going to have on your life and how many changes is going to take place. All right? You need to be looking after your baby. It is possible that nothing could ever prepare anyone for the moment when they first hold their newborn. However, there are still things that can cause problems. You know, when you have problems, what do you do? And a lot of people don't have any idea how to go about this. When parents of new babies get together, perhaps the most discussed topics are problems with babies sleeping, issues with feeding. It makes perfect sense, okay? When feeding babies, the issues range whether or not to breastfeed, though through to how and when to wean. Feeding is basically a kaleidoscope of issues throughout babyhood and well into early childhood, okay? And if you don't know what breastfeeding is or weaning, I would suggest looking those up. As far as babies in sleep, well, like I said before, I will cover that in a different topic at a different time. These are all things I'm bringing up that have to be at least discussed at some point. And the reason I'm bringing up these topics is, yes, I will eventually discuss them, but I want to make sure you understand that these are things that need to be done. Okay? One thing to keep in mind is to definitely not forget about yourself as well. Okay, while those other topics are majorly important, it's easy when you have a small baby to get thoroughly caught up in looking after this little person who is depending on you. Okay, when your baby is teething or simply has a day when they don't want to be apart from you at all, or you have only slept in fits and started because, fits and starts because someone decided that nighttime was playtime, it can be hard to remember that you ever existed as an independent person with thoughts and even a career. But you will be a better parent for looking after yourself as well, okay? And, with that being said, you'll be happier, calmer, and if you meet up with friends and take yourself and your child out of the house, or even just put them in a cot and take 15 minutes for a shower, it'll make all the difference. All right? With that being said, and while parenting is not a competition, sometimes just hearing about someone else's problems can make your own seem a little more trivial and a lot easier to handle and understand, okay? With that being said, I'm repeating myself, but there is a difference between parenting boys and girls. Okay? There's a difference in raising both of them. Believe it or not, there is a major difference. Will I cover them? Maybe, maybe not. But what I will cover in the next segment is parenting tips. I'm going to give you the top 10, and then we'll move on to something else. All right?